Welcome to the Change-Making Conversation series, where we delve into insightful discussions with Mr. Ali, the founder of Yes Network Pakistan, an Ashoka Fellow and Solvay Scholar. With over 25 years of experience activating young people as change makers, Mr. Ali stands as a seasoned source of knowledge and expertise in the field. I'm Anam Vakar, a teacher with over 5 years of experience in Dubai. I'm passionate about the concept of change making. Thank you for joining Change Making Conversation series. It aims to delve into the core of Ali's change making model, exploring his insights and experiences in working with young people. Each video in this series will tackle key questions related to youth and change making. Our mission is not only to provide invaluable insights to young individuals, but also to educators, parents, and stakeholders. So ultimately, our goal is to inspire and equip youth to become change makers and solution providers. So, in today's discussion, we'll explore the concept of youth in the context of change making and societal progress. Is there a need to redefine our conventional understanding of youth? And if so, why? I would like to invite Mr. Ali to share his thoughts on whether there is a need to redefine our perception of youth.
Thank you very much, Anam, for having me. It's a very valuable question, especially at a time when we are experiencing a youth quake in the world. According to UNFPA, world is home to 1.8 billion young people right now. 9 out of 10 young people are living in less developed countries. A vast majority of these young people are growing up in a very low trust environment, where no one is trying to establish and restore trust with these young people. Our present and future prosperity is very much linked with our ability to restore trust with young people. No social, political, environmental miracle is possible without activating young people as change makers. So in order to activate young people as change makers, we need to redefine youth. So let's take a look at how different entities and countries define youth. For example, United Nations and World Bank define youth as those individuals who are in between the ages of 15 to 24. Pakistan and India defines it as those individuals who are in between the ages of 50 to 29. USA defines it as those individuals aged 18 to 24. They call it young adults. Singapore defines it as those individuals who are in between 15 to 35. So if you take a look at all these definitions, you will notice one thing, that all these definitions define youth by age. And age is just a number. Youth should not be a matter of defining an age bracket. We need to go beyond age. The problem with this definition is it does not capture the essence of what it means to be young. It doesn't talk about the qualities, the attributes of young people. So in my opinion, I think it's very important that we redefine youth in terms of their attributes rather than by age only. Age is definitely a very important metric for planning purpose, for statistical purpose, for political purpose, for legal purpose. But at the end of the day, defining only by age is very limiting. In my personal opinion, youth is a transformative and influential period. It is marked by, physical strength, courage, boldness, resilience, and self-determination. It is a stage when you are seeking purpose, identity, and autonomy. It signifies a very dynamic period between childhood and adulthood. This stage offers individuals the capacity to carry out high impact activities that may not be possible earlier, later stages of life. Most importantly, this is not only a preparation stage, it is an action oriented stage where young people need to be trusted to drive change in the society. So the common perception is that youth is a preparation stage, and young people spend significant portion of their lives in getting ready. You see, it becomes a missed opportunity stage for many young people. At the end of the day, just take a look at the timeline we follow. Especially those young people who are studying in educational institutions, both high achievers and low achievers. They follow a very lengthy timeline for success. You see, the problem with this timeline is by the time you are ready, according to the societal definition of success, you are no longer youth. You have moved out of youth. So that's the biggest problem. And when you are moved out of youth, you are under tremendous pressure to perform in a shortest period of time. So you see, when you take a look at young people who are in the field of sports, IT, music, fashion designing, they reach the pinnacle of their careers during youth. While majority of the youth in educational institutions are about to start their journey when they're about to almost retire. In sports, you retire at the age of 30, 35. And when you look at young people who are coming out of university, they are almost of the same age. So you see the difference, because they are already in action. They are dealing with the real characters, real scenarios, real problems, and they are performing on the ground. So that's why they are able to make serious inroads in their careers. So in my opinion, statements like young people are our future tends to do more harm than good. There is nothing wrong with the statement. The problem is in the institutional context. It sends a very wrong message to young people. Back off, don't do anything, just focus on the studies. You see, all these things basically limit the potential of young people. At the end of the day, if you really want to help young people to become change makers, you need to provide them the right conditions so that they can use those natural abilities given by God to, create difference in their lives and the lives of others. And most importantly, you see, youthfulness has become a major reason to exclude young people from participation in any activity, especially in productive activities. What young people hear the most: "Oh, you don't have to do this because you are so young." Remember, this is a very special age. It passes very quickly, and you will not remain young forever. If you have not done anything during your teenage, you will definitely struggle in your youth age. If you have not done anything during your youth, you will struggle in your adolescence. So having a youth population is a blessing only if we are able to benefit from their natural abilities, their talents, and we are able to provide them a space so that they can use those without any fear of failure. Attributes play a very major role in in driving the major revolutions of the world. If you take a look at all the major revolutions like French Revolution, American Revolution, Chinese Revolution, anti-apartheid movement, civil rights movement, Arab Spring, young people were at the forefront of driving change, and basically their attributes fueled those movements. So for me, framing is very important. Framing is everything. If you are addressing a wrong problem, it doesn't matter how nice your solutions are. So the core challenge is not to provide education or employment. The core challenge is to provide the conditions where young people can use their change-making power, their natural attributes to bring change in the society. We need to ask this simple question: what percentage of young people today are change makers? Instead of just focusing on jobs and degrees, just ask this question. We need to have a new measurement of success. We need to have a new way of looking at youth potential. So majority of young people today have been ruled out, discounted, discredited, because according to the society, they have not met the criteria. While they have these natural attributes which can be used to bring positive change in the society. And to look at human development, it always follows the same pattern. It has three very important stages: weakness, strength, and weakness. So as a child, you are developing your strength, you are building your strength, you're dependent on others, you need a service provider, a caregiver, you're learning how to walk, how to talk. But as you enter into youth, basically you are at the pinnacle of your physical strength. Your basically strength comes from within. It is unfolded from within. You don't have to go and acquire this strength. It's not that young people living in developed countries are more strong, or young people living in developing countries are weak. Both young people living in developing countries have the same attributes. The only difference is the context, is the conditions, whether they allow them to use those attributes or not. Education and skill development definitely enhance these attributes. But at the end of the day, young people are valuable even if they're not educated, if they're not skilled, because of the natural attributes they possess, because of the natural process they go through it. So for me, youth attributes are indeed natural, universal, and you don't have to go and acquire them. You automatically get them as part of the growing process. So in my opinion, I often define youth as through a metaphor: melting ice. Just as an ice seller is always worried about his capital being melted away, society needs to be very, conscious and make sure that this very important stage doesn't slip away without making a solid contribution to the society. Remember, this stage is the most vulnerable stage because they're open to invitation. They can be easily micromanaged, mismanaged, misdirected, And we have seen, if you take a look at the demographic of terrorism in Pakistan, in many other countries of the world, you will notice that it is always young people who are inspired and engaged by the terrorist groups. My question is what they offer to young people. They offer to them, a trust, the opportunity, the respect, the purpose. While we, society, have failed terribly to inspire and engage young people, extremist groups are super active in inspiring them to carry out detrimental activities. According to Restless Development, a USA-based organization, 85% of the recruits made by the extremist groups are under the age of 25. And now just imagine that, they never look at their CVs. They never look at their educational skill level. They simply target their natural attributes, which we fail to do so. So for me, the best way to utilize the attributes of young people is through change making. Change making is the most effective way to benefit from the natural attributes of young people, from the change making power of young people. Because when young people are involved in change making, what happens? They use their natural attributes to identify problems, to build solutions, to drive positive change in the society. Most importantly, when they are involved in change making, they re-perceive their role in the society, they reimagine their possibilities, they reimagine their identity and reestablish their new identity in the society. It helps them to develop a sense of connection, a sense of usefulness, a sense of belonging, a sense of ownership of the society. So for me, youth is a limited time offer. It's a time-sensitive stage, right? You will not remain young forever. So instead of focusing on what is missing in the lives of young people, what is wrong with the young people, I think we need to focus what is right with the young people. We need to create conditions where young people can discover and use their change-making power. And we have to provide the right conditions. Otherwise, they will never be able to use their natural powers, because they are growing up in paradigms, and paradigms are controlled by the adults. They are not controlled by the young people by themselves. If you will not provide them the paradigm, you will never be able to use those powers. So I think it's very important that we should not only see young people as a demographic group, we should also see them as the most important resource available to us to drive change in the society. We should stop seeing them as empty vessels into which we pour our wisdom, but we should see them as a most promising resource waiting to be unleashed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ali, for shedding light on redefining youth. Your insights are invaluable, offering a new perspective. I believe it will resonate with teachers, parents, and stakeholders, prompting a shift in how we view the younger generation. Stay tuned for more in our Change-Making Conversation series as we continue empowering the next generation of changemakers. Your participation is the key to this transformative exploration. So thank you so much.